And everyone I'm talking to is stretched thin. I don't really know anyone that isn't, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's why Dad put me here with everybody. So
Yeah. I
you
think
know,
that was a good plan. I believe we're live. Let's see. Yes, it's now
yeah,
live. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that was a good plan to put yourself with us because otherwise you're right. There would be temptation, and yeah, we appreciate that. That was a
well,
good plan.
he since the beginning, he's always put me with the people that were less fortunate,
Yeah.
and a lot of the people that I rather communicate are, the ones that are down and out.
Right.
Because you
Right.
can't you can't you can't uplift someone who thinks they know it all because they have money. You
Right.
know,
Right.
according to them, they know it all because they have money and they can do whatever they want.
Well, also by going through all the stuff you've gone through in your life, you're compassionate to the plight of the regular person, okay? The financial aspect, the food aspect, all the stuff people are going through, the injuries, the illness, and that makes you more compassionate, but able to understand it, and hopefully handle it. Where, like, these rich billionaires, they don't want to help anyway, but even if they did, they wouldn't understand what the common person goes through.
Yeah, especially those that were born in that, in the wealth.
Yeah. 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 Okay. So I guess we'll just start.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Since we have. Today is the 12th of January. So we talked 2 days ago, just 2 days ago. And my head is almost spinning from the amount of stuff that's coming out. So it's very exciting. Do you have any updates for us before I start asking questions?
Um, there's the only really good update is that they are trying to push everything out on Monday, which is Martin Luther King's birthday. So between here and there, we will get a lot of great news, and um, uh, let's uh, let's enforce that it becomes the news we all been waiting for, where we can now go to the banks and exchange our currencies and um, start the process of financial healings.
Okay.
So
Done.
it was told that they want to get it done for Martin Luther King's birthday, which is Monday.
Oh, cool.
And then the other news is you can see the Israelis blatantly lie constantly in the international courts. So they're only being exposed, and they will be escorted from their from with. I mean, they will be escorted. Escorted, is that how you say it?
Escorted, yeah.
Escorted from there um, by the angelic forces. So they're not going back. They're done.
So will the people in the courtroom, whatever, whoever they are, will they actually see the angelic forces?
They already see them. Some of them are already there.
Awesome. So
So
I just saw maybe a fairy go through your,
mhm.
um, so basically, are there in the courtroom now, angels? I
Yeah.
mean, like but visible to those that can see, is what I'm asking.
Yes.
Ooh.
Um,
Ooh.
in some cases, people don't know who they are,
Yeah.
but some of them do, which is why things are going to go Dad's way because for a long time these demonic forces were in these courtrooms and were doing their hand signs and blah blah blah, right? And now the we're appearing on them, and there's so many of us is you know there's so many of us that they don't have a choice but to do things Daddy's way. And those that were even thinking about doing things that weren't Daddy's way got replaced.
Excellent.
So,
Okay. That's amazing news. When do we think this is going to wrap up in the courtroom? Like, would you say today, tomorrow? Like,
Um,
it doesn't especially matter, but I would assume before we have any good news.
yeah, well, they've already pretty much ordered them to stop doing what they're doing. However, we know Israel isn't going to stop, and that's going to result into what we all want, which is a total surrendering of the Israeli forces, retrieving, and all of them being held accountable, executed, and Palestine restored. So
Right.
that's where we're going. And even the children, the children, the people, the innocent people, they're going to be some of the first ones to be restored.
Good. Good.
And it's only right if you ask me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Especially the innocence, of course, should be first in line, you know.
yeah, definitely. And it's been written that that was the case too. That where the part where it says the people will come out of the graves or whatnot, and the angelics would appear, and everybody will go up and blah blah blah. It just not going to happen that
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 specific
way,
way. Yeah.
right? Because it's all been you know these books are nothing but people's visions, like the modern day psychics now, and
Yeah.
people that have visions and their daddy's telling people everywhere. So all they did was just write down all this information. And that's why I always call, those biblical books, the Bible, nothing but somebody's diary.
Right. Right. Right.
Um, and then, of course, some of the true parts of it was altered. So now you don't know the truth. And that's why we're here now, to show everybody the truth. So I can sit here all day long, and yet we still have thousands of forces and benevolent people doing daddy's work all under my command.
Right. Right.
So that's what's going to be shown. It's going to be shown that that's been the case for all this time. So um, it's going to be it's going to be real exciting to see all this stuff take place. Um, and it don't really matter how long it takes, because we want it done perfectly. So even for me to say it's going to take a day or two or a week or two, dad can always change it. So what we will do is we'll enforce it happen as quickly and perfectly as dad allows, so that we can get things done and we can move forward into the new reality, because that's where we're going. This is like once we get rid of these guys, it's like problem solved everywhere across the board. And the ones that are continuing to bomb certain locations are all the dark ones, because those of us here in the US are not we're not we don't want that happening.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You see that press secretary guy, they're asking him if the bombing is against international law. He's like, absolutely not. They have a right to defend themselves. And it's like, I want to go up and backhand him, but
I'm surprised they haven't been, what do you call, chased down and lynched,
lynched. Yeah. Yeah.
because that's literally what needs to happen. I mean, it it
Yeah.
it needs to happen where these guys are held accountable and people
Yeah.
stop letting this shit happen.
Yeah. I put out a meme, and it showed Mel Gibson as Braveheart up in the top, he's like battle gear. And it's like America in 1776 when they taxed the tea in Boston or something. I'm going to screw up the meme. And the
Right.
second half was Winnie the Pooh, kind of like half asleep. Americans now. And, like we're all this stuff that we've got to go through, and no one's raising a fuss, hardly. It's like we're fat and happy, and we need to get up, and we need to get up and do something about it. So you are.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Um, you know, the good news is that we are doing things in such a way where um that statement is not even necessary, where everybody has to pitchfork and shit like that. So
Yeah.
it's
Well,
kind of like,
yeah,
good.
no, go ahead. It's just
That's
frustrating to me because I just don't see anyone really, they're going about their lives, which I get, but they don't seem very concerned, you know?
yeah. Well, that's a part of the successful programming of the people.
Yeah.
But you know, like that article about the 7 men in Texas. Okay, you see some you didn't really see what happened to them, but you see what Daddy had me do to them. Those guys got evaporated on the spot.
The
So
headline, I wouldn't have wanted to watch that video if there was one, but horrible. Yeah.
yeah, well, that's the type of stuff that sells on the black market, the
And
dark web.
those videos, those
Yeah,
kind of, and are they reptilians?
yeah,
Okay.
that's what they do. They feed off of that shit, and they get a kick off of it. It's like a adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
You're talking about a child, a baby who can't do nothing for themselves, and you violate them like that. Yeah, you need to die.
Yeah. And you put out quite a few videos about the tunnels in New York City with the Hasidics, like some of them still under there when the tunnels were exposed, but then you put out several other videos about them, dancing around, and it just so inconceivable. But it does show you their belief system. And again, they're not like, we'll call them human, but I hope that is exposed as well. And one of my questions, I guess, is, you said the dark forces will be taken out and then everything's good, but the mainstream media is still not 100% clean and clear. They're still not reporting the stuff that we're seeing. And, that's why I'll talk to somebody and they're like, oh, I didn't see anything about that. And, then I have to kind of defend it. It would be really great if we didn't have to do that, if it was just on the news and everybody could believe it.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
Yeah.
And the part of Dad raising the consciousness, the part of Dad raising the consciousness is making it easier for us to argue our case
Yes.
without really having to put too much energy into arguing our case. Um, eventually, all of these guys were going to be rounded up. Everybody's prepared for it, and when they do, a lot of the real news is going to come out, including the real tunnels, because those tunnels are not even the real tunnels.
Right.
You got very sophisticated tunneling down there, and
Yeah.
they just shown you some dirty shit
Yeah.
that's not even the real tunnels,
Right.
with all
Right.
the trains and the super advanced, transportation and all that stuff,
Yeah.
and the cages and on these trains, and the human trafficking that's really happening, because there's levels to it, right? So they're not showing you the real levels to it. They're not showing you the fact that there is a super advanced tunneling system, and they do end at a specific location, and they do gut the people and
Oh,
package them and send them off planet. They're not
yeah.
showing you that shit.
Yeah.
And the remaining parts, they feed it back to people in McDonald's and such, right?
Right.
And this has all been proven already. It's already been proven. Just Google human DNA found in McDonald's. Listen to Rabbi Finkelstein, that sick fucking dude, right? And even the parts of the Bible, I think it's Revelations 2:3 or 2:9 or something like that, where it talks about the synagogue of Satan, the people that act like Jews and they're not.
Mm.
So it's all being revealed. It's all being shown. So there's deeper levels to the shit, and it's all reptilian Draco, certain beings, race. It's all connected to them. So the more and more they try to stop the exposure of it all, because remember what I said, we have to totally expose them in order for us to be able to eliminate. So there's certain things that I want to eliminate right now, but it has to be eliminated so that people can see what the fuck has been happening.
You want to get to the deepest layer of this organization, not just take out the surface people or whatever. You shared a video yesterday. An older man, I forget his name right now. He was kidnapped evidently, and he talked about the tall Nordics with swastikas on their uniforms were basically preparing human bodies, and it sounded like they were going to be sent off planet, the meat.
That's exactly what happens.
Oh man! So when I watched that, I was like, why would these tall Nordics? Then the interviewer had said, well, maybe it's the reptilians and they've got a disguise. I don't know if I believe that or not. I didn't test it. I was just like considering it. Why would they do that? Why would they help the reptilians?
Well, again, dark and light.
Okay.
Dark and light. That's the easiest way to explain it. There's dark humans, there's dark Nordics, there's dark Palladians, there's dark reptilians. It's dark to light, and that's what they do. However, we do know that the same technology the reptilians use to make themselves appear to be human, they also make themselves to appear Nordic, Palladian, and all the other all the other things. And even in the Bible, it says, that Satan can appear as a light being or a human. So when you understand that it's all nothing but energy and technology and frequencies and gadgets that they use, then you understand the Bible. You understand it more because you now have more information to validate what they've been saying in these books. And it's not a whole it's supernatural, yes, but there's more to it. It's a dimensional warfare that they've been talking about. However, they didn't use certain words, and if they did use certain words like frequencies, they deleted that. Why is the word frequency in none of these biblical texts? Okay, that's like the main word right now.
Yeah.
That's the it word.
Yeah.
Energy and frequency.
That's really the basis of creation when you think of it. Vibration, frequency. Yeah.
That's right. Because energy tells matter what to do. And if you have the right frequency, you can create and you can destroy anything. So what I do, especially when they put out new diseases, right? What I do is I zoom in on the disease because I can remote view, I can see what's happening, I can see what's in it, and I can pull it up on my screen, right? Because I have a screen, and then I can see everything that's in it, and then I can generate the frequencies to neutralize it, and then I put it out for free on the hologram. That's what I do. It's literally what I do. This is why everybody that contacted us, you, and all the other crew members about coronavirus didn't die. Meanwhile, everybody else who don't know about us and who don't know that we've been here since 2016 working on all this stuff passed away. And that goes to show you the people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge, which is also a program, because they've been programming people not to believe and not to look into natural things.
That's exactly right. They took away our knowledge about herbs, plants, remedies, how to, we're really helpless when you think of it. That's why like the shows like Survivor and all those things are so exciting, because we don't know how to do that anymore. I haven't
Right.
actually watched that show, but surviving out in the wilderness, most of us really wouldn't do well.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
So you said basically these human meat scraps are made into, we'll call it hamburger, and sent, I'm assuming, at very low cost or free to like places like, say, McDonald's or the fast food places. All right. So inadvertently, people are being caused to be cannibals, satanic cannibals, and they don't know it. All right. So I
Right.
feel a little sorry for them, but they, there have been for 10, 15 years reports about human meat in McDonald's. All right. And I've shared it myself for years. But I guess the question is, there's a disease that comes from eating, from being a cannibal. Is there enough of that? If somebody ate McDonald's every day, could they basically catch this disease?
Yeah. It's it's
Yee.
it's 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 literally why people are dying. Um, uh, you know, they're dying for multiple reasons. It's said not to consume flesh, and yet they're purposely giving us the flesh.
Right,
So um, we're at fault here, but it wasn't because of our own fault, if you would.
yeah,
So
yeah,
this is why a lot of people are getting passes, meaning we know what they did to y'all.
right,
So we ain't gonna hold you accountable for eating flesh because you was unaware that you were eating flesh.
right. Now, what about animals? Okay, so you said that our society will be headed toward a vegetarian lifestyle. So I was a vegetarian for about 15 years. So what I would recommend for somebody that wants to explore that is start with pescatarian, which is just fish and seafood until they can get off of that. But how important would it be for us to become vegetarian like ASAP? Like, because of the meat quality, the diseases, and also the impact on the animals themselves.
Yeah. So it would be super important to your evolving, especially if you like for right now, I'm doing the fish and vegetables and stuff like that too.
Right.
But um, to be more enlightening and keep yourself healthy and keep the weight off, it's best to become full vegan
Yeah.
because food is healing, and if you have the right foods in you, and your body starts to heal. Unless you're like me, where it doesn't matter what you eat, you still. But there, it also the vibration of the body changes too when you start to eat, natural stuff.
Right. And that's partially why I went vegetarian. I basically went gluten, dairy, meat, caffeine, and alcohol free for 15 years. So I'm looking back, I'm like, what did I eat? I don't really remember, but it can be done. But
Absolutely.
it would be encouraging for people to maybe consume a little less meat now, because what I found is it allows the energy to flow through your body easier. And when we get these downloads or whatever, you're not sick. You're not as slammed as if you just ate whatever. It's higher
Right.
vibrational food.
Right. So a lot of the blood clogs and clogged arteries come from animal fat.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be best to go vegan. Um, one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to have chefs, come together and start making, super healthy meals and it's going to change everything because it's going to be better than meat products,
Right. Right.
and it'll look like meat products, and there'll be no poison, no chemicals, no
Right.
nothing.
Right.
It just be a bunch of fruits and vegetables, mixed up and cooked in a certain way where
Right.
it'll be great. Like when I went to the expo with you, when we went to dinner after the expo,
Crab cake.
yeah, I had a what do you call it? It was a crab cake,
Yeah.
and there was no crab in it,
Yeah.
and it was delicious, and I still talk about it.
Yeah, I know.
So so
Yeah.
so stuff like that, we it's going to be normal, and just by eating those type of things, people will stay healthy, especially the newer children that will be born after we clean up
Right.
all the shit.
Right.
So they'll be super healthy. You won't have overweight children. You won't have children, you know, crying about food because they won't have worms in them and shit like that. So
Yeah.
I would strongly suggest start, eating more fruits and vegetables, and it also increases your vibration and gets you higher levels, and you start communicating with dad a lot faster that way too.
Vitality. Well, you're kind of leading into my next question, which was parasites. So now, to be clear, you can get parasites from any food, not just meat, but we all know the quality of the meat is so horrific, and we don't even really know what it is anymore. But you've put out several videos in the past few months that I meant to ask about parasites, and we all have them. So my question is, do parasites, and we know they affect you physically, but there's videos out showing how they literally are like the cause of almost every illness, but they also make you emotionally and mentally unstable. So would you agree with that?
Yeah,
All
the
right.
parasites are just like, reptilians and the rails. They come in and they take over, and they get you to do certain things and eat certain foods, and if you don't eat a certain food, or if you don't eat at all, you get headaches and you get cravings and you get all this shit that isn't normal.
Yeah. Sugar cravings are a big one. All right. So
Sugar.
now I don't know if this is true, but I'm going to run it by you. Way back when, I used to be a nutritional counselor, okay, but I told people that the parasites in their body would become more active around the time of the full moon. Okay. It's like the eggs hatch or something, but like a lot, I'm one of them. I always had trouble sleeping at the full moon. The energy was too much, but that could be also caused by parasites.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So there, there's ways to kill it, and all of it is can be done with frequencies and hologram as well. But once you start eating certain foods, the foods make sure they don't come back, or they don't, regrow, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So there's lots of things you can do to get rid of parasites, and there's parasites everywhere, especially if you own dogs. Yeah, especially if you own dogs and cats and shit like that, because they're full of parasites.
You kiss them
And
on the head or something, or they've been outside. Yeah.
well, I mean, if you have them in your house, you got parasites. Period.
Yeah. Yeah. So what is the quickest way that you would recommend to remove the parasites?
The cayenne pepper is one of them because it burns them. That video that I just posted with the guy talking about the Celtic salt and cayenne pepper and
Yeah.
black pepper.
Black pepper.
So what I would do is I would just order some of those, or go to the local store, and then find yourself the fish oil capsules, right? Then you can mix it up, put it in the fish oil capsules, and pop a couple of them every day until you feel like you don't have problems anymore.
Right. There are parasite removal kits at the health food stores. And you can get some that are a little less expensive, and black walnut, and so there's other natural remedies that are not expensive that you can get.
Right.
How about the pendants? Do they include a parasite buster? I guess we'd say parasite buster.
Yes, they do. They do.
All right.
This
So
is that's Go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
That's another reason why people, get the energy blast when they first get them, and then that's another reason why some, not everybody, some people have that detoxing where they feel sluggish because the energies of dependence is literally detoxing your body.
Okay. So let's say you have cats and dogs that have parasites and you have a charm near their food and you have charms on. Would that help fight the parasites, keep them out of your body?
Yeah, it'll kill them.
Okay. Yay. So
Yeah.
can you tell our new viewers a little bit? I don't know, like I'm a little low here, like how the pendants work. So this is a flower of life pendant. And I've got the vibranium one here. I've got them all over the house. Here's a little loose one. So
Right.
anyways, can you got them everywhere. So can you tell people kind of how a pendant or a bracelet or one of your products works with the frequencies and the vibrations?
Yeah. Okay, so was it was it the last video or the one previous where I talked about the rainbow and the layers?
Probably the last one.
Okay, so if you think about a pendant, right? If you think about a pendant, I don't have nothing with me. Oh, yes, I do. Hold on. Let's see.
Mine is the
Actually,
flower of life because that's the one I like.
actually, I'll just use this coaster here because I got
Okay.
coasters right here. So
Okay.
this is a coaster. So if you think about the energy around the coaster, first of all, it's circular.
A
So
sphere.
it's a ball. It's a ball of light, which is why when they did testing on the orgone pieces that I made, regular orgone energy goes inward like this and then goes outward. When I put the hologram in orgone energy, the energy wasn't going in and out no more. It was just constant ball of light, ball of energy. So that being said, there's a sphere of energy around it, and within that sphere, there's multiple layers like the rainbow. Okay, so the different layers of the rainbow has a different frequency range, a frequency field. The closer you get to the water, right? So if you put your coffee on it like this, that will give you all of the healing benefits to your coffee, and then you drink it.
Right.
So water holds memory because our brains and our bodies are 85 to 95% water. And we hold memory, and we're also energy, and our memory and matter tells our energy body what to do, which is why we move, why we talk, blah, blah, blah. So the different layers of energy and frequencies do multiple things. So the closest for healing the body and getting rid of diseases is to charge your water, coffee, tea. That will then clean out your insides, right?
Right.
Now let's go up 2 layers. The next 2 layers will clear out anything around you, devices, negative entities, blah blah blah. That'll do all that. So no matter what type of dark energy or dark being comes around you, that energy level will keep them at bay.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's go up more layers. The more layers you go up, now you got environmental protection. So if they throw a chemtrail over you, those other layers of the rainbow, the top layers, now neutralize everything that's falling from the sky. If you go by a gas station and you smell all this gas and all these fumes, it neutralizes that too because the environmental protection. And it's all energy fields that you can't see yet. So as we move into the new reality, these things become more and more potent and more special, because now you see everything I've been trying to
Right.
educate everybody on.
Right. Right.
So you'll literally see them like the rainbow, because
Yeah.
there's different frequency levels and different ranges. Now, once you become super in tuned and then heightened and learn the methods that I'm teaching you, then you can then take the energies and harness them and send them wherever they need to go, which is why we call we call everybody Jedis.
Right.
So that's literally how these work. There's multiple dimensions, multiple frequencies, multiple layers, and they do millions of things. And you don't have to believe in it to actually do it, because you can't stop the energy, you can't stop the frequency. The only thing you can do is block your own mindset by not believing in it. So what that means is the person is literally putting a block on themselves, and that alone will manifest things not working for them because they don't believe it.
Right.
It doesn't mean the energy is not there. That doesn't mean it's not going to do what I designed it to do, what Daddy wants it to do. So, and I say that because when you take a sticker and you put it on your car starts steaming within 2 minutes. You can't stop that, and you can't unsee that. Same thing with the radiation, the EMF protectors that I have.
Right.
Remember, I was doing that live at your show.
So these are the ones Smarty made for me like years ago. And what we would do, people would go up and have a bare naked phone, and you would have a little device that I don't know if it told a number, if it beeped, I don't remember.
Radiation detector, yeah.
Yeah. And then he'd put, a product on the phone, and it would like be silent. And that a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? And we were giving them out for free, I think, a couple times.
That's right. We did for free.
Yeah.
And that was a part of me getting the stuff out there. Right. And I secretly put the cancer cure in it too.
Yeah, well that's why mine is pink. You did one for the expo, and that's got
right.
Cancer buster in it as well. All my friends and family have these on their phones, and like, because I'll go back east and I'll say, let me see your phones, I'll try to give them more. They're like, oh, we already have some.
That's right. Not only that, the image you can reproduce multiple times, and the energy would travel with it because it's stored in that image.
Right.
And Daddy holds the database of everything. So no matter what we make, it's going to carry the image, which is why we can send text messages all around the world and heal people all around the world, because the energy travels with the images that I make.
Right.
So I mean,
no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's cool. When you think of energy and you think of those balls of light, they travel everywhere with the images. And you can't stop me from sending out a text message, and you can't stop me from making my products, because they're not a drug, they're energy. Right. So this is the way we changed everything. Right. There was a guy and a lady making fun of me back in the day, and they used to say, "Oh, this guy thinks he's going to save the world with these holograms." They didn't know who the fuck they were talking about. excuse my French.
So people have heard you talk French before. So right. One point I wanted to make up for the newer people watching this is that every product has a different range, like the charms, like the necklaces, bracelets, and all that. I think you said a range of 1,000 feet.
Yeah, that's the environmental protection.
Yeah.
The 2 feet for certain things as far as healing.
Yeah.
Even radiation protection. So there's multiple frequencies within the ranges. So
Right.
they do a lot. And that, for a time there, because I can see it all, right? A lot of us can now see these energies, and some of us saw them from the beginning, especially the children. I would hear reports where they'd say, Grandma, I see an angel in your pendant. That's because all they saw was the ball of light, going in and out like that. So what they do is they literally change everything everywhere. And I would get a kick because I know when I saw this, and people would say, "Oh, the pendant isn't doing nothing for me." It's not doing nothing for you. All of the different things that's happening around you, and the pendant's not doing nothing for you. Yeah, no. And it's like you're not insulting me. You're insulting your creator. You understand? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
funny. So funny.
And I've said this before. I'll
It's
hand
wild.
my pendant or something else to somebody. I'll say, hold it. And they flinch like, oh, what is that? And now some of them want one immediately. And then a lot of
Right.
them are afraid and they're like, oh no, they'll lose it. I've given so many away. They'll lose it or they won't wear it. And you know what? One of the things I'm like, oh, just put it in your jewelry box then. At least they're getting
Ah,
something in their house, you know? Yeah.
that's
Now,
true. That's true. And it's go ahead.
no, no. Well, I was just going to say you're also using all these products as basically a grid around the earth to raise the vibration. So those that have this stuff in their house, the vibration is only going up, 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 up. And the more people
That's
that
right.
have it, the higher the vibration on earth is, right?
That's right. That's right. I'm glad you brought that up. Let me tell you a short story real quick. Back in 2016, when I came on the Real Truth Call, I was sending out text messages to people, and during that process, there was about 600 calls. I mean, 600 text messages that came into me directly, and my job was to just send out the free image so that people can start using it, right?
Mm.
What happened was once I got to 600, my phone erased all of the other people that were there. So there was 1,000 plus people that was still waiting, and my phone shut down, and all the people that I haven't texted just disappeared. That was when I realized that these motherfuckers is in my phone. They purposely deleted these people from the company that was manufactured my phone. And then I also knew that why they did it, because when I send these pockets of energy all around the world, what did it do when they opened it up? Boom, created a new energy field around them.
Right.
So
Right.
that's why they tried. That's why they continue to interfere with me and my products, and that's why I'm censored the way that I am, because they know once I get a hold of a person, I change their life forever, and they don't want that.
Right. Think of the trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars for energy that is spent around the world, and then also medical treatments, surgeries, pills, whatever it is. There's so much money and control by not healing the people, you know. And
Well, think of the $1 trillion I've already taken from them.
ooh, it's hard to think about that, but yes. Yeah.
Don't
So
you see? Don't you see? They want me dead and gone. They want to replace me. They want to get rid of me. They don't want nobody to know about me, because you got this guy making these images for free, and he's taking billions from us already. And I ain't going nowhere. So
so I want to just again say this for the newer people on the website smartiescorner.com or the company of heaven official.com.
mm-hmm.
There are thousands of free holograms that you can download for free. Okay, you can print them or just put them on your phone. So you don't even need a piece of paper. They have healing frequencies in it, protective frequencies in it. So by sending them around, you're helping to heal people as well as raise the vibration of the household that person's in or wherever they are.
That's right. That's right.
Now, when you I know you update the charms and things every, let's say every month or whatever. Can you like, is it like a, can you see it graphically, like say Earth and all the places your products are at? Like, can you see them like lit up or whatever?
Yeah.
Yay.
It looks like one of those images where you see the map and then you see these different things going like that.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
And from my point of view, all I would have to do is focus on that first pendant that I made, hit that pendant, and it just goes whoom, everywhere else
Wow.
at once.
Wow.
And it's been proven over and over on the Real Truth Call. If you
Right.
listen to it, once I did it, people were like, "Oh shit!" It heats up.
Yeah.
Not only that, I can change people's waters while I'm talking to them. I can charge it, and they can taste the difference right
Right.
away.
Right.
So there's lots of things that I've been doing to show people that I can do these things. And I can do them because I'm guided by our Father, which is God, Source, Creator, Allah, whatever you want to call Daddy. I call him Dad, Daddy. So
I, I'm grateful you've hung in there because many of us would have been pretty frustrated with the general population by now, like not believing you, needing like how like show me. Oh, how about now? How like always doubting and all that. It's got to be you know frustrating, and you hung in there like
yeah,
a
well, I'm glad you said that because that's literally why I posted a couple hours ago, Smarty Faith.
yes, yeah,
Because I understand how people are. Okay. I used to be one of them until I realized certain things, until dad started telling me who and what I am and what I could do. So I was one of you guys where I wanted to see it to believe it too. And just like the Patrick video where he says, God, if you're real,
oh yeah, yeah,
I haven't talked to my mother in a long time, and she calls him blocked. Now, the reason why he picked up or why daddy had her call blocked is to increase his faith because he knew it was his mom. He knew it was his mom, but he didn't believe it. And in order for him to increase his faith, he picked up the phone based on his faith. And because of that, it was his mother. So what I'm trying to tell everybody is that you shouldn't be, show me, show me, show me, show me. You should have faith that what I'm telling you is real. And what I'm doing for everybody is legit. And your faith will put you in a level with daddy where now you know that daddy's real because your faith has showed you he's real.
right.
And that's where I'm at with it. Like, you don't have to convince me of me being who I am. Like dad already did that. And things are difficult for me even to this day. I got all these abilities and yet I'm limited because I don't have the funding that you would think I would have, right? And that gets frustrating for me sometimes because I see the suffering of the people and I help a lot of people, believe it or not. I mean, people know I don't have to prove it, but I help a lot of people, whether it's healing, whether it's money, whether it's this, whether it's that, whether it's a simple command, and that all comes from daddy.
Right.
And my faith is so strong that all I have to do is say done, and that shit is done. That's how strong my faith is. You understand? Because I know that when I say the word's done, that's because Daddy already approved it, and this shit is going to get done. Period. That's Smarty Faith.
I think the point I'd like to make is that literally it would cost somebody zero, not even a penny, to use your product. So let's say someone isn't certain, and they're, I'd like it to work, but I'm not sure. They could go and download a hologram.
Hologram.
You know what I'm saying? A hollow from the
Yeah.
website to their phone. Everyone has a phone, okay? And just try it. Put it near your water. Put it near your food. Put it near where you sit. And we have a Bubble Up site, which is an app, and there's what we'll call cocktails, which is a series of related hollows set to some healing music. And people have reported amazing results from just using those free hollows and cocktails. So there's, and okay, let's say you want to dip your toe in the water even more. Smarty always has these amazing sales. So you can get the pendants and all the other products 50% off a lot of times. So
Right.
I think you said you're having another sale this upcoming weekend.
Monday again, which is Martin Luther King's birthday. So
Okay.
and there's a lot of things that's supposed to be happening that day. So why not have a sale too?
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's hope so many things happen that you're so insanely busy and everyone's just excited out of their mind and they just order a whole bunch of stuff. So one of the questions I got the other day is, why do you sell product? And I'm like, you're human, you need to live and pay your bills and all of that. Okay. And that's fair enough, right? No one has it easy that I'm aware of, except the bad
Nope.
guys.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you're always offering, there's free things if they don't want to spend any money.
Right, right, right. Well, yeah, and there was an individual that said, you should, if you're of God, you should be giving this shit away for free. Well, if you're of God, how about you pay my bills for the rest of my life, and I'll do exactly what you said.
I noticed these online or these like the Joel Osteens and other preachers, if you will. They're living in huge mansions. People are donating money to them. They're living large, okay? And are they healing anyone? No.
Nope,
No. In fact, they're
nope.
doing the opposite of that.
That's right. That's right. That is right. Now, the good news is that Dad has put me in a position where, you know, all of those things will be given to me now. So, I'm involved in everything. And like I was saying last interview, where they literally have to forfeit things to me now too. So all of those things will happen, and I'll have endless funds to do what Dad wants me to do. Is because Dad designed it that way. So I started in the bottom where everybody else, because all of the ones that have been suffering for a long time are now going to be the ones to help humanity because of what we had to endure.
Right. Right.
So it's getting real. It's getting real. It's getting real as you feel. That's where we're going.
Yeah. That's why, a lot of
And
us
you're witnessing.
go ahead. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
No, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. You're witnessing the fall of the cabal, and that's why a lot of us are.
Yeah. Well,
Go ahead.
a
That's
lot
why
of
a
us
lot
are
of us are.
stretched thin. I was going to say, I don't know if we're on the same page.
No, no, no. You're right, because that's I knew that's what she was going to say. People are stretched thin,
Yeah.
and and I know this too, which is why I do sales, and which is why I'm also working on behalf of everyone, because everybody that supported me all these years, don't you think Dad is going to return the favor?
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to take people's security checks or social security checks and stuff like that. You know, and that's why I do free stuff. You don't have to buy nothing from me. I could
Right,
care less
right.
because Dad is also bringing the people to buy the stuff for me. And in all these years, I had a handful of donations, and the recent ones helped me a lot. And I thank everybody for that. But I've never asked for it,
Yeah, yeah.
so
Well, I wanted to say, a lot of people are stretched thin, but here's the thing. When you go through hardship, what does it do? It makes you stronger and smarter.
mhm,
And it also
that's
makes
right.
you realize we're still here. We still have food. We still have heat or whatever. Like there's been times like I think I told you a couple stories, like money just kind of magically appeared, or somebody would give me something and I'd be like, how did you know I needed that? Perfect timing. Yeah. So many of us are going through that and it's amazing. It's so exciting, but
That's
think how we'll be able to help people experience that in the near future. It's going to be great.
that's right. That's right. That's right. So there's multiple things that has in store for everybody. I mean, you got basic income, you got guaranteed income, you got, we're getting ready to put a bunch of things together where you can learn and get paid at the same time.
Yeah.
You can lose weight and get paid at the same time.
Ooh.
You can gamble and get paid at the same time. I mean, we're getting ready to fund people in so many ways where they're just going to be super high all the time, and they're going to want to help because now they have money to do so.
Wow.
And it's all being done by Dad, so there's nobody getting over anything, right? Even if they feel like they got over, Daddy allowed it, and there's a purpose for it all because eventually these people are going to spread the wealth because that's what real humans do.
Right. Right. Most people are
It
generous with each other. You have family and you have extra food, you take them, hey, have this or whatever, or, especially like we'll call it the old days. Like when I was younger, people helped each other so much more than they do now. The neighbors were very close,
That's right.
families were close. I don't feel like it's quite as that way anymore, but I am isolated too, so it's just me. But anyways, I
Yeah,
have,
yeah. Well, we have work to do. So
yeah, we do have work to do, and I'm happy to be here. Very happy to be here. And like I
yeah.
said, you can feel it in the air. You can feel the excitement and all that. And so
Mhm.
I'm gonna had several questions. So there's a sale coming up on a Monday, which might be the 16th. It's Martin Luther King Day. I don't know what day that is. Um, was your second in command always B? Like he's your second in command now in this timeline or whatever, but in previous resets, was he always your second?
Yeah.
Okay. Did
So
he?
so if I was King Arthur, he was Merlin.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah. Yeah. So he's always been with you, and you've been in different bodies, different families. So probably has he.
Yeah.
Okay. The one we'll call O. Will he
Mhm.
physically remain after everything is handled, or will he meet his demise and then come back in some fashion or whatever? No, so he'll physically remain.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So you know how they say you're going to be shocked on who's good and who's bad.
yeah, there's more.
Right.
Wow. Okay. Well, we haven't talked about that very much, and I also don't want to give away any uh game plan or whatever. So I
No,
know,
it's cool. It's cool. I always refer to O as Danny Brasco. Watch the movie Danny Brasco.
okay. So we know he's done some pretty horrible things. Will he go through a tribunal?
He'll be in it, but he won't be. He'll be in it.
Okay, so he's not going to be prosecuted because he's actually doing it for a valid reason. Is
Mhm.
that a good way to say it? Okay. And there'll
Yeah.
be others, but will we, the Jedis, be made aware of who they are?
Everybody will be. There's no way around it.
Oh, okay. Okay. So we'll know. We won't be like, oh, why are they not getting him? We'll be like, oh, we get it. Yeah. Okay. Um,
Yeah. And you're glitching out as we talk about this right now.
I
So
know, I noticed that too. So we've talked in the past couple, maybe 3 videos about, we'll call it the Great Reset. We go to level 12, beep, we have to come back and do it the right way. So my question is, the Cabal, have they done their own, we'll say, dark resets of the people? Like, in other words, like Noah's Ark and the floods, and was that caused by them?
yes, this is they've been doing it for a very long time. This is why people don't realize where they're really from,
Yeah.
because they've been going into planetary bodies and destroying everybody, and then imprisoning certain people, and then they're so programmed and so locked up, or so locked up and then programmed, where they become released and don't realize or don't remember anything. And if you listen to some of the secret space programs, you can see that that little gadget from the Men in Black, where they and wipe your memory, is very real. So what happens if you go into a planet and you totally wipe out everybody there, and then you wipe out their memory, then you destroy everything, you rebuild it, and then put them back, and then you have them do what you want them to do.
And that's what's happening.
That's what's happened. Yes.
Yeah. So, like, it would be fair to say, like Noah's Ark, the flood, that flood, but there's been multiple. I've heard there's been something like 14, I don't know if that number's accurate, ice ages, where like all of a sudden the earth is covered by ice. There's been mud floods, there's been all this stuff. So they've really been the ones to cause trouble here.
Yeah.
Dirty
That's
dog.
what it is. That's what it is. Think about an ant farm. Think about an ant farm. Look at the size of us compared to an ant.
Yeah.
We can flash freeze an entire ant farm if we just hit it with a certain device that will flash freeze them. Same thing if we pour melting hot metal oil over them. Same thing if we take the whole ant farm and then we just pour water into it. So that's literally what we've been dealing with. And
Right.
that's also the reason for them using us as bait, as not bait, but food. And all of the food, all of the parts of the chicken, for instance, you can use it. You can use, what do you make out of chicken? Chicken broth, chicken,
Yeah.
there's sausages, there's certain sausages that use the chicken blood,
Feathers for
chicken.
your coats. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what they've been doing to us.
Wow.
It's literally what they've been doing to us.
Yeah.
So this is not just happening on Earth as far as the liberation. We've been doing it everywhere. And it's only in this galaxy, if you would, because the rest of the galaxy is already, cleaned up, and I have multiple kingdoms there. And it was only, I was the only one else that's able to do all this stuff, which is why I'm here.
Are you working on the other hot spots out there simultaneously, or is it like we're going to do Earth and okay, so you're doing it all at once? Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
You remember, yeah, you remember that perimeter that I talked about, the force field that I talked about, where they can't, we've placed a perimeter around the entire galaxy area, and we're just moving in on everything and everyone. And
Okay.
that perimeter, that perimeter that we talked about, it's literally made of the same type of material David Adair talked about,
Mm.
where he talked about making thread out of it for clothing.
Right.
It's just more advanced. And think about this. Where did David get all that information from? He got it from Pithalum. Where did Pithalum come from?
Right.
You starting to see the bigger picture yet?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was wondering, and this is maybe a weird question, but is Pithalum your offspring? Like I know you said you had
Uh,
sons
the
and daughters.
the answer is yes to that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And she has agreed to help with communications and all of that, which is amazing. So it's a trustworthy form of communication. Yay! But my
Exactly. And you already knew it, which is why you even had that question.
yeah. So but I guess my question is David's approval is not necessary. It's she gets to make up her own mind and do whatever she wants and has, right?
Yeah. He has no say in it.
Right. Okay. And I don't mean to sound that in a mean way, like, but
It's
she
not.
was like, yeah,
It's not mean. It's not mean. It's not egotistic. It's none of the above.
right,
However, he will be a part of it because of his obedience to dad.
right, right,
So like he really has no say in anything that dad wants me to do anyway. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
if I want to create a pithalum ball, where do you think I got the idea from? Where do you think I got the approval from?
right. So she is actually your daughter, which is all right. That's gonna stir up a whole new line of questions next time, okay?
I already know.
And by the way, my granddaughter said that unicorns are the ones that make rainbows. And that's how rainbows are made. And she wants a unicorn. And I listened to this whole thing. I was like, I'm going to sneak you a touch when they come around.
Well, the certain children will be able to, touch them and play with them.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
for everybody.
Yeah, I know. But I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna sneak you in. So basically what you said last interview was that the dark forces, the reptilians, took a population, and I think we used Egypt as the example, but they took a group of people over here. Okay. Then they basically, like, we'll say, killed them off. And they taught the ones that were remaining a different history and a different way of being. So that way people don't know any better than to do what, kind of live the way they're told. And that's been happening for a
Right.
really long time. And that's why we don't even really know our history. So we're kind of unfortunately ignorant and
Mm-hmm.
trusting. And I guess I'd say in general, we're innocent, but we don't know any better than we've been taught and the society has taught
Yeah.
us. And
Yeah. We've been bamboozled, and
totally.
and they've been using the race card on all of us when we're all daddy's children. So us and the Jedi's, we don't see that shit. We see daddy and we see daddy's work, and we see things need to be done. We see people, as daddy's children, and we all need to be taking care of each other, which we do.
Right. Right.
Now, all the other groups are going to have to follow suit because they won't have a choice. I mean, they do have a choice, but then they won't be able to mingle with those of us that are doing daddy's work because
Right.
we won't put up with the shit. We're not going to deal with it.
Right.
So,
Right. I find lately my tolerance for regular people, like mundane communication or the naysayers or whatever. Like I'll say, "Hey, did you hear about what happened in the Miami Mall?" And I'll start to tell them. They're like, "Well, that's not true." All right, whatever. My patience is gone to like zero. It was always zero, but now it's like, negative zero a billion. Like, I'm having a really hard time being around people that won't even like, they're not even receptive to a new idea, you know?
Well, and that's why I say they have no choice, because if they didn't see
Yeah.
the Miami aliens, I'm sure they saw shit like this,
Minute.
which is also in Miami.
Aliens mirror. Yeah. 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 Okay.
So these are, all of our ships are popping up everywhere,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you know what's going around now? Oh, that's Project Bluebeam.
Mm,
Okay, that's what they're saying it is now. Little do they know that that was also put into their heads to believe that that's what it is.
right. Right.
Just like when I come forward, everybody will call me the Antichrist because that's what was put into their head.
Mm,
Okay,
mm,
so what it doesn't matter anymore, because we are going to keep exposing ourselves. We're reinforcing that everything be exposed, including me, because if I was dark, it would be exposed too, right? We're going to expose the fact that we are a body, or a planetary body, that has communications and have families on different planets, and we're going to live forever. So what are you going to say 200 years from now? Was Smarty telling the truth?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to have to say yes, he was telling the truth, because Smarty's still around, and so are my crew, so are my ships, and so is Daddy. So
Right. I like to think that they would believe who you are well within that time, like I
well,
think we have
those that do, yeah, those that do get rewarded, for their hanging in there, for their participating, because that's really what it's all about. It doesn't matter if I'm telling you the truth or not. Pay attention to what I'm teaching you, because if as long as you can reproduce what I just taught you, everything else is don't matter.
Mm,
Go out, heal people. Go out, teach people. Show them how to download a free hologram. Show them, whatever. Heal them, because as long as that works and that continues to work, and you didn't get paid for it, and that's literally what it's really about at this point. Everything else is going to fall into place.
okay.
If you don't believe me, you can learn how to use a pendulum, and you can try the method. And if it starts working, then you just removed your doubt, which is why I use pendulums to teach people in the first place.
Yeah. It's a very good way to so for me, I get answers often like I have a knowing, okay? I don't always hear a
Now,
voice.
now you right,
Yeah,
right,
but
right.
I
Now,
I
now
often
you
will double check, because it's a trust issue. But I double check muscle testing or a pendulum, like what, especially with an important thing. But it's a really good way, even making basic daily decisions. Should I eat A or B, or should I go here or there? You know what I mean? These little basic, really kind of unimportant decisions are a good way to practice for people.
That's true. That's true. That's
Wow.
true. You can also just use that heavy loving light blankets around the people you love, especially if you're seeing them go through certain types of illnesses or whatnot, right?
Mm,
Anybody can imagine putting a light and love blanket around people and command their healing or their problems be solved.
right.
Now, that's easy. Anybody could do that shit. Anybody can do it. Picture yourself putting a blanket around a child or around an elderly person, and then commanding whatever they want done.
Right.
Especially do that to the dark ones, because that's literally how we defeat them. That's
Right.
that's all. That's literally putting salt on a snail.
Right. Right.
So
It's like I'm not.
Once you exactly, exactly. So once you do that, and then you start to see people change, then you know that everything else I'm saying is real and is possible.
Right.
So the only way to know for sure is if you do it, right?
The
Just
way
like
I
everything.
the way I see love and light blankets when I do it, and I put them around the entire earth, is they're like almost like cotton candy. They're like foam or whatever, and they're real thick and springy and fun.
Mhm.
And then I like to put it around the entire earth when we're having trouble or whatever, but I can feel it when I put them out there, you know?
Yeah. So does the earth.
Yeah. Yeah.
So does the
Just
earth.
just imagine if we all did that, say, right as we're watching this video right now, just put a thick layer of love and light around everyone on earth
Boom!
and the entire earth. How much hope that
Boom!
gives, right? Yeah.
Well, let's. I mean, we're actually already doing it.
Yeah.
Everybody that's listening is already doing it. So
Yeah.
the time is is January 12th, and it's about 4 o'clock. Okay. Now later on this evening, we'll go to the Schumann residence to see what happens. Because I'm known to do it by myself. I've already shown that. Remember Facebook Live when I said, "All right, it's this time."
Eight-
Boom!
Yep. 8 o'clock.
Right on the dot. Right on the dot. Boom! There was a strike.
Yeah.
So
So 10 to
let's
4
see.
Central Time on the 12th. Just check out the Schumann and see what happens. That's so fun, isn't it? It's just fun. So everybody like do a heavy love and light blanket around every being on earth.
Especially the dark ones. Put a heavy, heavy, heavy love and light.
Yeah.
That's what you call I love you to death.
Yeah. 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 So I've been seeing reports in various places about illegal aliens. Okay, so and it's not just the U.S., but military age men coming into the country. They're being paid and they're being armed. And then the other day I saw one where they're actually two states in the U.S. are letting these people become police officers. And I'm like, I mean, that's insane, right? So you're aware of that, I assume. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
we don't worry about none of that. It's all being exposed. And in order for us to again take care of things, we have to expose it
Yeah.
first. Now, all of those individuals can easily be teleported back to where they need to be. Okay. So when you understand the capabilities that me and my crew have, you don't worry about certain things. And everything is being done to show everybody who the dark ones are. It's
Right.
also being done to show everybody who the good guys are too, if you pay attention.
Right. Okay.
So don't worry about it. Same thing. Put heavy loving light blankets around all those individuals.
Right. Just wanted to point that out just to make sure you got it. One other
Yep.
thing I've been wanting to ask, and I might have mentioned this like a year ago, is like these DNA tests, like 23andMe, which people are voluntarily giving their DNA to people. Or when we take a blood test, let's say we have a blood test, they take 2 or 3 little vials of your blood or whatever. So the medical industry, they're getting your DNA. So my concern has always been that they were going to basically clone us because they have information about us, they have our cells, and they were going to use us for nefarious purposes. I'm assuming that was a plan.
Well, it was and did happen,
Mm-hmm.
and they used the clones for off-world slavery.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, um, it was allowed to happen because we were able to then wipe out certain things out there. So um, that being said, all of that is being taken care of, and all of the bloods that they collected are no longer valid, if you would, because we just changed it. We
Yeah.
changed it.
Yeah.
So we're changing everything, and we're not doing it money. We don't need money.
Yeah. So I just, it's just a curiosity question because I got like about a year ago that they were creating clones, and I don't know if that's still happening, using this blood, using the cells, and maybe things I don't even want to know about even more.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, yeah.
and then we know that when we have a baby, they take the placenta and all that, like they take everything and they examine it. So I have always been very leery about where that ends up now that I know what I know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's like I said, they use all the parts to the humans.
Yeah. And I
They
mean,
use all the parts.
for all we know, they're putting it on the Doritos and the natural flavorings and the other products that we're eating, which is so like, it is hard enough, eating an animal. Okay. Like we can kind of justify it in a way, but yeah, I don't like what they're doing because that's pretty nasty. Yeah.
Well, they do that so that they can get everybody used to cannibalism.
Mhm.
That's literally what they do.
Yep.
They come out with a new restaurant, a new fast food place, and all of a sudden everybody's fucking lined up to the place, and they're going crazy because the lines are super long. Like, what is in that
Yeah.
shit? Oh, it's just so good. Hmm.
Look at Chick-fil-A.
That's what I'm
Like,
talking about.
and we have a McDonald's here. They've got like a double window thing. I don't know how many cars it fits, but that they jam up the parking lot with McDonald's here. And I'm like, all these great restaurants, and that's where you choose to go. And,
Well, they've been forced to choose to go that way because of the lack of funding that's going around. So they this all has been coordinated to
yeah,
do what the fuck is doing.
yeah,
You can't go into a grocery store and buy a bunch of fruits and vegetables because look at the prices on it. Then you go down the aisle where there's nothing but processed junk for literal pennies.
yeah, yeah. And look at this. I noticed this like in the 90s. You could buy a 2 liter thing of soda. At that time, it was like $1. But to buy a gallon of water was like $3. So let's just say you needed liquid, you're going to go with the cheaper one, right? Not looking at
Yeah,
the components in it. It's crazy. It's
that's
crazy.
right. That's right. That's right. And what is it doing? It's aging us.
Yeah.
It's getting us sick. I mean, the people like I even try to warn people to this day. I see people drinking Gatorade like it's really doing what the commercials tell you, and that's one of the most acidic drinks that is out there, and it's nothing. It's doing nothing but aging you, and then you wonder why the athletes are no longer healthy and broken legs and broken just
Yeah.
deteriorating.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I'll walk through a grocery store and I notice like they've got soda, they've got chips, they've got sugary cereal, like let's say Lucky Charms, or all the food dyes alone in these things. And the food dyes really mess your kids up. Of course, we know sugar affects kids. Um, but you add in the food dyes, the preservatives, and all those other things that we don't even know that are in there. That is just a recipe for trouble. And people don't know any better. They're giving
That's
it to
right.
kids or eating it, and they don't feel good, but they don't realize even a couple of good meals can make a difference in their life. Like
That's
you
true.
have a couple good healthy meals, and all of a sudden you don't want that other stuff as much. And then you continue that upward spiral, that old stuff falls away.
That's right. That's right. And the cabal, they know what they've been doing.
Yeah.
And for those of us that don't eat pork, what they've been doing is they've been putting yellow dye number 5 and stuff like that in our food, and that's a pork based dye, which is another reason why some of the Israeli soldiers said we should tie them up and feed them pork because they know they don't eat pork over there, but yet they would like to tie the Palestinians up and feed them pork.
Yeah.
You understand? Like who does that?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's because they know that dad told everybody not to eat pork,
Right.
because pork is nothing but a genetically modified human with a boar, right? Like people don't know what the fuck they're eating.
Yeah. I don't eat pork, but I did a couple weeks ago by accident. I didn't realize what it was. And then, you know, I decided not, I use my wands and but I haven't eaten pork in probably 20 years, you know.
Yeah. So, you know, JJ, he would eat all types of stuff, and Dad told him to stop eating certain things, and now he's haven't had to use his and you know his over there on that side, they're into the medical stuff, and they don't listen to me. But since he's been here, he doesn't eat anything that Daddy don't want him to eat. He no longer has allergies. He no longer needs to use his inhaler, and his face is clearing up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and that's because for a long time he 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 just
It's diet,
you
it's
know
food diet. Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
and he's noticed it because they go out one night and they eat something they weren't supposed to eat, and it all came back.
Yeah.
So now he's like, man, I'm not touching none of that shit.
Yep.
And the thing about it is that it was a meal that we didn't know there was pork in it,
Yeah.
and that's what got him. And Dad knew, because Dad was like, all right, what'd you eat? Oh, yep, that's what it was.
So that has dyes in it. Yellow dye, you said. I
Yellow dye number 5, and a couple other dyes that are like reddish, yellowish dyes
Yeah.
are nothing but pork.
Yeah, those dyes are really bad for you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
As now he's seen. So now he's learning and experiencing that. So he's more apt to stop, to take it out of his diet, like, so it's really hard to tell a teenage boy, don't drink soda, don't do this. Like, I've tried that. So my son would listen to me talk to people all the time. And then after a while, he came to me and said, I'm not drinking soda anymore. And I was like, hallelujah. Because I can't make him not do it. Like, I like to think I could, but he's going to do what he wants to do. And so by listening to these things, it's helped him change his diet. He noticed his skin was better. He noticed this, he noticed that.
Right.
Of course, there's no, empty calories, but all that nefarious stuff they put in there, that's not by accident,
Yeah,
Why
yeah,
do you
yeah.
think a Happy Meal is so cheap? I don't know what it costs now. You got your burger, which is human meat. You got your chemical fries, adrenochrome fries, and then you've got sugar chemical water, which tastes like acid. Why would anyone do that to themselves?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
And
The good part about it is he knows, he knows how serious me and Daddy are.
yeah,
He's watched it all, his whole life.
yeah,
So when he got here, Dad, through me, Dad told him certain things, and he's witnessed it now,
yeah.
and he's like, man, I'm good. I'm good.
Amazing.
So
Yeah,
it was easy for him.
yeah,
But yeah, people that don't realize certain things, they just continue to consume things without realizing it's messing them up. And then come some years later, they're now on a hospital bed crying.
yeah.
So it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. All this stuff needs to change. And this is why it has to change the way we're going to change it, which we start buying up all these products and these companies and change the products within.
Right.
That way, it won't be dramatic for some people. It'll just be oh, this company has a new product and they say it's healthier, and then it actually is healthier because now there is a seal of approval on it by yours truly.
Got a little smarty face on it, like, go ahead. Thumbs up, like, yeah. I would love that. I told you, like a week ago, I was having ice cream attack. So I go and I saw this GMO product thing, which ruined my day. Then I started going through the ice cream thing. Most of it is GMO. Okay. So you need, and again, they didn't put it near the ingredients. They put it like, down a little bit on the package. So you really have to search for it. But even like a lot of the organic stuff, they will actually spray. Like it's grown organically, but we're going to spray it afterwards just for fun, So
Right,
a lot of nasty stuff they're doing to our food. And
right.
to that. We talked briefly about Pethalum and the communications. Like, is there like will she be assisting like with cell phone communication? Like in other words, we're going to have a smarty phone or maybe Apple, I don't know, whatever it's going to be. And we won't really need to pay $100 a line for communication or whatever. And it will be not just used to monitor us and, and track what we're doing.
Right. So when I take over Apple, the only thing you'll have to pay for is the device itself.
Okay.
So, we're going to have free things, but you're still going to have to purchase the device to get you to the free part.
Right.
Like, the people want free energy, but it costs to make these things.
Right.
So, but once we get to that point, yeah, we'll switch out series for Pithalum, and we'll do lots of things that will improve the quality of life everywhere. And we don't need radiation to power our phones like they are now.
Right.
Because we're moving into consciousness, and that's the part where Pithalum comes in for those devices.
Right.
Um, um, it's for some people it's still hard to believe, and even some of the stuff that I've been telling everybody, like there's certain groups that say, "No, that ain't true." And we see them. We see the people. We watch you too. We know that you don't believe it. And then boom, in your face, there it goes.
Yeah.
So we're going to do all those things. The free energy devices for water. Once you pay for the unit, it's a done deal. You have water anywhere you want to. So, and in some cases, some of these units will be given away because what better way to market your product than to give it away?
Right.
What
Right.
better? How did I market all my stuff? I gave it away.
Yeah. Yep.
We give you a free unit. You can do cars with it. How about you buy this unit from us and you can do the whole town or your whole everything.
Right.
Not to mention it's portable.
Yeah. That would be amazing. Like say to go camping or whatever, you take the little whatever device with you and boom, you have fresh water. You don't have to go do all that stuff to it and you don't have to worry about it. That would be amazing. But just to have that in our homes, amazing.
Yeah. And it's all coming. It's all happening.
Yeah.
It's all coming. It's even the source, the source gear, right? The platform that I draw out for everybody. You walk onto it and it forms, it puts the clothing on you. And you're nothing but energy, and so is everything else around us. So all you literally have to do is stand on this platform, and whatever you want to wear, boom,
Boy,
automatic.
that is going to be so exciting. So
It is.
exciting.
It is exciting, and it is fun, and it is happening. It's all happening.
Yeah.
So these are stages to get to that point. So I don't care if nobody believes me. I'm going to be me and my crew are going to be the first ones with it.
Right.
And there's no way around it.
Yeah. I think once people start to see, like, okay, so we have the chambers or whatever, people start to see one person do it or a couple, it's gonna get their attention. Of course, the terminally ill or whatever, they're gonna be like, whatever, I have nothing to lose. But people are gonna slowly trickle through, and then it's gonna come faster, faster, faster. And then the devices as well. And then once you've helped everyone, they will be like, how can I help? What can I do to, assist with this? You know?
That's right. That's why we have a lot of crew members now.
Yeah.
And all of you guys are playing a key role in all this. Like you was just talking about the bubble up and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Some of you guys all put that together. And the videos were done by the crew members.
Mm-hmm.
And we people come and go, but it's a specific reason why people come and go. It's not that they're totally dark or totally in trouble. We just had to cut people off of doing certain things. So um, it's a lot of moving parts in what we're doing.
Right.
And,
Right.
and not everybody has chosen to do a certain thing, which is why not everybody got some of the free medical wands and some of the free devices when we did that.
Right.
But we're all a part of it, and we're going to get it done. And we're those of us that have been working tirelessly to do all this stuff and continue to educate people and share all my stuff. We're going to be celebrating. We're going to have parties, blasts, events, all that. And some of the individuals that came and went will also be there. And it's going to be cool because they'll be forgiven. They'll realize that they had to be put on a hold on the block so that they can learn some of the things that they had to go learn. So it's not necessarily all bad. However, there were some that were really bad, and that Dad is making an example of them.
Okay.
So, but for the main part, a lot of us are, with Daddy's program, and we're helping. And that all of that part of all this stuff could have not been done without all of you guys. So, you guys should be excited and proud of yourselves as well. So, and I love you guys. I'll do anything for y'all. So it is what it is. Everybody else is just missing out the being around the coolest dude on the planet.
That is true. And doing this has given me, like, I feel like I'm helping. Like I'm helping. Like, I don't want to just sit around and wait. Like, I could be sitting around waiting and maybe still have the end result down the road. I feel like I'm helping. It gives me excitement. My questions are answered. Now, the past month or so, my understanding has been incredible. And it's so exciting. Our
It
consciousness
is.
raising, everything is changing. It's all for the good. And
That's right.
it is really exciting. So I'm glad to do whatever I'm asked to do.
That's right. That's right. And it ain't that hard when you come to realize it. It's not
Yeah.
that hard. And even the people that are putting the questions up now too, that
Yeah.
their questions are being answered, and everybody else who was on the fence, their questions are being answered, and now they're thinking more like, holy shit, what if this really is real?
Yeah. Yeah.
What if he is telling the truth?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody loves this guy, and they keep supporting him, and they keep reinforcing what he's saying. So let me get my shit together and join this shit. Because if he's telling the truth, then we're a part of something that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
You,
And
you
and
know
like,
what I mean?
that's why I mentioned the free products earlier. Like, let's just say you find this video and you're like, oh, that sounds interesting. I didn't want to spend a penny. You don't need to. You don't need to. But you could educate yourself, like watch the older videos, ask questions. People in this group want to help the others. And then what I found is, like, a few new people have been really contacting me. They're excited, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect. you know.
They should be. They should be. And you remember a while back, Daddy said he's going to bring everybody to us. So this
Yeah.
is it. All we got to do is continue to do these videos when he say so, and we educate people because I've been doing this stuff for years, and I've been asking these questions myself to Dad, and Dad has been giving them to me directly.
Right.
This is not hearsay. This is not I think so. This is what it is, and this is what we're going to do. And
Right. Right.
that's what's exciting about it too, because the messages and the orders, I should say the orders, they come from Dad. And when they come from Dad, I execute.
Right.
And then next thing you know, you're seeing it. So that's what we're doing here. That's literally what we're doing here. And everybody out there that was on the fence and everybody out there that was against us are going to realize they done fucked up and they lost. And Dad won.
Yeah.
And this is everybody, even the military, the secret space programs. You don't think they're all watching right now? You don't think they know that I would fucking kill them in a heartbeat if I was allowed to? Do you think I care about any of them? They know I don't. They know I got, they know they know I'm not afraid of nothing. If the saying goes, if God is for you, who can be against you?
It's a good one.
What if you're God in the flesh? You gotta sit and think. You gotta sit and think, because this is the time where everybody's you're either going that way or you're going that way.
Right.
So, and the good news is, like I said, 200, 300 years from now, I'll still be here talking shit.
Yeah. I have one more pithalum question I didn't ask earlier. Is there a way somebody would be not able to use her information? Like, I'm talking a good person. Is there a way she would not give them information or communication? Now, what if somebody was plain ass dark, which they won't even be here, but let's just, for example, and they wanted to use that device, would it work for them?
No, why do you think Pithalum is so excited? Because she's been in a dark place,
I know.
and they couldn't communicate with her, and she couldn't communicate with them because the frequency wasn't there.
Yeah.
So no.
Yeah.
And to answer the first question, yes. No matter what, you have an imagination, use it. Once you realize that Pithalum is giving you the answers, then you know for sure. Okay.
Right. Thank you. Well, that just makes people feel better. And like, just think of what a great resource this is going to be for us. Trust. All right. So we go on the internet to research something. And, there's a lot of incorrect information out there, even Wikipedia, all of these places, they all have their own agenda. So you have to really, if you really want the truth about something, you really have to go down as deep as you're able to. A lot of times I've tried to research stuff and like, I'm not getting there easily. I mean,
Right.
so what a great gift it would be to get real information.
That's right. That's right.
Information.
Right. And eventually, like I said, we will take over all of the different devices, and Pithalum will give you all the information. In the meantime, you guys can just write down what she tells y'all, and then watch it be validated, or watch it, the truth of it all.
Yeah.
She gonna tell y'all stuff about me that I haven't even said.
Oh, that's
I'm older than her by a couple of 100 billion years. Okay, so it is what it is. It's super exciting, and everybody should be excited. All the stuff that we heard about on how we will, receive new bodies and become telepathic and heal and have heaven on earth, and all of these things are happening. They're just not happening in the way that it was portrayed, but even better because it's truthful. That's the best part about it all.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be amazing. It is amazing now. Like, I don't know if everyone feels excited. Like, it's just like, it's sometimes hard to sleep. I'll lay in bed and a question pops up like, oh my God, gotta write it on the list, Driving my, I've got papers everywhere.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's so exciting.
It
Are
is.
we at a good resting place or do you have more time?
We're good. We're good. I haven't ate yet, so I'm gonna go do
Oh,
that.
okay. Well, it feels like a good resting place. So we'll basically look for lots of good news coming out. But also we'll look for the code for a Monday sale for smartiescorner.com or the Company of Heaven official.com. And that's where you can get the products at a great discount. And you can always get them, but of course I do like a sale, and many people kind of need the sale. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
It allows you to get the product out to people. And so what we want is to cover the earth with even the free hollows or whatever. We want the vibration to expand around the entire earth. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. And join the testimonial group on Telegram. You guys can read all the testimony.
Yeah.
From all around the world too. All around the world.
Yeah.
You should probably put that in one of these links too.
I think it is in, but I'll double check that. I have a couple. I hit my head so hard yesterday. It was my own fault. I had an open cupboard and I go bam, and I started to freak out. And then I'm like, duh. I walked 5 feet. You've got a wand. I wanded my head. I can't even feel any soreness whatsoever. And it was so bad at the time. I was like, oh my God.
Right.
Thank you.
I got a testimony too. The right before New Year's, I was out moving some stuff out of one car into another, and I sprained my ankle, and it went crack. Right, so I'm hopping back in the house, and B takes out his wand and points at my ankle, and the wand lifts up and just hits my ankle, and it was like, boom, back to normal.
Yeah.
I had swelling the next day, but no pain.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, thank you, Daddy, because we know back in the day when we sprained our ankles, that shit would last almost a week.
Oh yeah, it would
almost be a week. But I was back to normal in the day. And then there was a little bit of swelling, but again, no pain.
I was out hiking in the fall and I got a spider bite while I was hiking. It was pretty bad. First of all, it was itchy, but it started to swell and I'm freaking out like, oh my God. Right.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then I had this ring on the, I don't know what it's called, vibranium something around. And I'm like, duh. I waved it around the wound. Okay. I went about, like, I think I did go to the creek and just put some water on it because it was really itchy. I wanted to rip it open. And I went about my business. And like at the end of the hike, I looked, nothing. So it works.
Yeah. I got some photos, and they should be in the testimonial group, where some of the Jedis would cut their finger, and by the end of the day, totally healed up. No cut. I mean, you can see the cut, but nothing else. It's totally healed up.
Yeah.
So the rejuvenation process of our bodies is happening a lot faster, also due to the raising of the consciousness and the energy fields.
Yeah.
So either way you look at this, we're going to have these everlasting bodies no matter what. The chamber is just going to get us there faster. So we got a lot to look forward to.
I'm really looking forward to it. So exciting.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for talking with us today. Appreciate all your time and everything you've done for us. And I guess keep hammering us with more videos than we can even watch. I was like laughing. I'm like, dude, I'm almost tired of I'm tired, but it's so interesting to see how fast the evidence is coming out, isn't it?
That's right. That's right. And you know, everybody's on their own time. So watch it when dad wants you to
Of
watch it,
course.
and then reinforce it, because
Yeah,
that's the purpose of
right.
all the videos that I post. You
Yeah.
know, there's certain things happening, but then dad wants us to focus on a specific subject to get out, right? Because
Yes.
then the domino effect happens.
Yeah.
That's literally what we're doing, guys. So let's
Yeah.
keep doing it. Let's keep hammering them the cabal, heavy loving light blankets for these sick fucking, you know, whatever. And we're gonna usher in a new reality overnight. Let's go.
Yes.